Hello, my myRockworld fans. We are here at the Circus Krone in Munich with an exclusive interview with the Hooters. And let's go into the first question to Eric and Rob. Sorry for that.
That's okay.
The actually Hooters tour is called 33rd and the 3rd Live. Please take a brief retrospective about the last 33rd and 3rd years, the highlights, and also give us a little forecast for the next coming 33rd and the 3rd years.
33 and a third years in 33 and a third seconds. We started in 1980. We had a lot of local success in Philadelphia very quickly. We put out our first single in 1982. We put out our first album in 1983. In the meantime, Rob and I made the first Cyndi Lauper album. Rob wrote Time After Time. It was a huge success. 1984, we signed with Columbia Records. 1985, we put out our first album in the U.S. and the world, Nervous Night, which went double platinum in the United States. In 1987, we put out One Way Home, which had the single Johnny B and Satellite, and Carla with a K, which brought us to Germany and Scandinavia and the United Kingdom. 1989, we put out a Zigzag, which had 500 miles, which cemented our relationship with Scandinavia. In between that, we toured for months, years at a time, and very notably, we opened the Live Aid concert in Philadelphia in front of 120,000 people
really
live and 1 billion people all the way across the world. Bob can take it up from here.
Wow, yeah, and then, late 90s, we also worked with Joan Osborne, and Eric wrote One of Us, big hit for her, and also covered in Germany. Kept touring through the 90s, then took a break, had families, kids, tried to live a normal life that didn't work too well, but we tried. And then we come back on the road in 2001. We did a big show in Philadelphia. I know I'm leaving a lot out, but 2007, I think, Time Stands Still, some more albums finally, and more tours, especially in Germany, which we think is our second home. Our home away from home is Deutschland.
Okay. What about the forecast for the next 33 years?
Wow, I get tired thinking about it. Maybe sometime on the beach, I don't know. No, you know what, we're lifers. We have played, as many people in America and around the world, we've played music since we were little kids. We are in it forever. It's not a job you retire from, it's something you do forever and as long as you can.
You're right.
So Mick Jagger turned 70 and I just see the Rolling Stones in Philadelphia and it was, he's incredible. So I guess we look forward to good health and hopefully more live music. That's what the Hooters is really about, live shows.
Okay.
5x5, the last Hooters album, has been released back in 2010. Since that time you have been very busy in touring, so the question, will there be another Hooters album, maybe after the current tour?
Maybe?
Yeah, vielleicht. It takes time, and we say we wear many hats. So one hat is the Hooter hat, and then we all have studios. We co-write, we co-produce, we arrange, we tour with other artists. We support the other musicians, so there's just so much going on, and it seems to get busier as we get older. I would think, maybe time to, take it easy, go sit on the beach, but it doesn't happen. No vacation.
You don't look like you want to retire.
Yeah, no, and really for me, I did one weekend this summer, and that's it. No vacation, nothing. We're just moving. Which is wonderful. We're very lucky. We've done this forever. We'll just keep doing it again as long as we can.
Is the Hooters a band of friends?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Absolutely. We really get along better now than we ever have, and we've always gotten along well.
Because is it?
I think it's
Just one life?
Yeah, well, it's chemistry. We all travel now, band and crew, on one bus. Sometimes we have two, which is good luxury, but sometimes we're on one bus, and you know what? There's 12 people living in a one-room apartment, and we can get along. We have a great crew as well as the band members, and if somebody doesn't fit, which has happened, then they leave. We get rid of the bad vibes.
That's why we've had 4 bass players.
Yeah.
Like Spinal Tap, except we've had Franz since 1987, so I guess he's a permanent member.
Yeah, and crew guys as well. Some of them have been with us almost 20 years, and and Eric said it. Yeah, we're friends. Of course, there's pressures and there's days that it's tough for anybody to be away on the road, miss your family, etc. But good friends, good chemistry. I think that's also the key to the show, is the chemistry on stage.
You have still sold out shows after 33 years, and you have all generations in your audience. Also very young people that attend for the first time to a Hooters show. What do you think is the reason for that ongoing success?
Timelessness. I think that really that good music is timeless. We've never followed trends, fashions. You know, I know right now EDM is huge, and I think it's great. My son loves it. I listen to it with him. I think Avicii's fantastic. But I personally like hard style. Actually, I've done a couple of tracks with Plutonium Boy, which are up on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So,
But our music is, I think it's also the melodies. You know, people come and they want to sing with us. So it's not that hip hop or dance or other music, you can't sing that, but it's handmade music. I mean, we're like the Stones. Every night is different. It could be the exact same set list, but unlike a programmed sequence show, even rock bands are programmed in sequence with backup vocals, backing tracks. We do it old-fashioned way, hands and feet and voices. That's all we have. There's nobody behind the stage, under the stage.
Maybe under the stage.
Well, maybe some fans, but there are no musicians. What you see on stage is what you get, and every night is a bit different. Jamming, spontaneous things. I think that's really the key. When Eric says timeless, it's really the melodies. You know, people want to sing it and feel the music, so we thank them for that.
Very good. Eric, who were your heroes that made you start a music career?
First, my mother, who played piano when I was a baby and all through my young life. Then my uncle, who played guitar. But then when I saw the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, that was the moment that I knew that this was what I was going to spend my life doing.
Okay.
And then the whole British invasion, the Who, the Stones, Bruce Springsteen, I think is a live performer. I think he's always has been, always will be the best. And then Rob, who really taught me everything I know about songwriting.
Well,
so the same question to you, Rob.
Yeah, and probably the same answer. Although there was no musicians in my family, unlike Eric, where they have talented. No one got the musical gene, but me. But somehow there was a piano in the house, and so I just plunk out some tunes. And same with Eric, and I think every other kid in America and around the world, they see the Beatles and they go, yes, let's do that. So, same thing, British Invasion, Traffic, Cream, Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, all the classics. I mean, I'm no different than anyone else. Those are the bands that influenced me. I think the other big influence for me in the 70s would be reggae music, Bob Marley and Jimmy Cliff. I went to Jamaica for family vacations when I was 13. So before I saw the Beatles or heard the Beatles.
And then you did the zombie number.
And then we did the zombie number. So I was collecting 45s and vinyl albums from Jamaica, as well as rock and roll records. So when the 80s started, for us, musically, was the Police and two-tone. That was the other big influence, because when we started, we played almost all night just reggae and ska music, and people love it. So yeah, reggae, Zombies, 500 Miles is a sound.
So is there anything you haven't done yet musically, and you think one day I'd really love to do that?
Oh, plenty of things. I don't know what they are. Maybe we have an orchestra. Eric just did that, you know, play with a big... He had that experience, and you can describe that. But I don't know. It's unlimited, I think.
Yeah,
What's
really.
next?
I got to do the Rock Meets Classic tour this year, which was amazing.
What amazing.
Amazing experience. And of course, there's a part of me that always would love to play metal.
Really?
I'm a guitar player. I mean, above everything else, I'm a guitar player. I sing so that I can play guitar. I write
you
songs.
still have the hair.
Yeah. So,
You're not.
You're a heavy metal fan?
you know, there's not a lot of heavy metal music that I like, but I like the genre. I like the sound of it. And I've worked with the Scorpions a lot. I've written a lot of songs with them on their. I wrote, "The Best Is Yet to Come." I wrote that with some friends in Sweden.
Oh, this is cool.
And if you look at the records, I'm all over them. And I love working with them. I loved recording them, playing with them, because they were very easygoing about letting me play guitar on stuff that we wrote.
So maybe someday a solo album in that style?
Actually, I have a couple of solo albums that are kind of in that style. I mean, they're not metal, but they're all guitar.
So guitar rock.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
guitar influence rock.
I mean, we use so many different instruments and sounds in our music, but for me, it all comes back to the electric guitar.
Yeah. We were at the classical rock nights, and I can say, because I attended the show, there were some headliners, but you knocked them all because he had the fans on his side,
Yeah.
which was a very simple way, in my opinion. You were open-hearted, and it was in the moment you come to the stage, there was authentic feeling, and the people felt that.
Also the German version of God is
Of One of Us?
One of Us.
Actually, yeah, we did that version.
Please tell us a secret or a funny thing about the Hooters nobody knows.
We're all aliens from another planet. I don't know.
No, that's
Sorry, the secret is out there. Well, we have a strange name for the band. That's no secret, but that's what we call the melodica. So some people don't know the Hohner melodica. We thank Hohner, by the way, in Deutschland because they build my accordions and harmonicas and recorders. So I don't know if there's secrets. You know, I mean, we're on stage. We leave it there every night. I mean, you know, it's 110%, and so it's out in the open.
Okay. Any words from you, Eric, to that?
Things that people don't know about the Hooters. There's a lot people don't know about the Hooters. There's a lot we still don't know about ourselves, and we're still learning. That's what we have to look forward to for the next 33 and a third years.
Good last word too. So some last words to the fans, please.
Well, one thing too to explain 33 and a third, especially for a younger generation. We started in 1980, it is now 2013, so roughly 33 and a third, which is a strange number for an anniversary, is usually the 25th year, the 30th, or the 50, but 33 and a third is the Revolutions for Vinyl albums, which we grew up with. So, you know, when we saw the Beatles, the next day we went out and we bought their albums. The albums spin at 33 and a third, so one day we say, hey, that's the name for the tour. And, you know, a lot of younger bands are still putting out vinyl, which is wonderful. And I have a big vinyl collection. I play it, listen to it with my kids. I have two sons. We go to the thrift shops and music stores in New York, Philadelphia, collect vinyl. You know, you hold the album and it just, even the smell of the record and the artwork and sometimes, you know, my son just found Thick as a Brick from Jethro Tull. And I forgot the package, but it's a whole newspaper that opens up, and so while you listen to the music, you also have this other experience that you can't get on an iPod, you know, and of course we all have iPods with 10,000 songs, but there's something about holding an album, Who's Next, you know, Sticky Fingers, Velvet Underground, the artwork. Even when we did albums, doing the artwork was such a big part of the process. We couldn't wait to design the album cover, and now it gets smaller and smaller or non-existent, and I know you can download the credits, but it's not the same experience. So anyway, 33 and a third, to close, is really our tribute to the music we grew up with, and long live that, and maybe kids will get back into it as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a great concert tonight.
Yeah, Circus Cora.